What's going on, people? This is Shad Harrison. Today is another edition of Interviews with the Rebel. And today I am sitting down with somebody I've known for probably about the last 20 years who's actually blossomed into a great business owner and doing some great things. I have Miss Jenae Williams. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm good.
Jenae Gardner, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenae Gardner. I've known her when she was Williams. So, for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
So I am Jenae Gardner. I am the owner and founder of Glitter Bows and Pointed Toes LLC.
Okay.
And basically my company provides cheer, dance, and tumbling. So we're a one-stop shop.
Okay.
And we provide this for athletes. We started developing them at 2 years old.
2 years old?
2 years old.
How was that?
The 2-year-olds are my favorite. I teach that class. So the 2-year-olds, they start with cheer and they're sponges. So think about the 2-year-old who has all this energy but nowhere to channel it. So we bring them all in the class and we teach them real cheer skills. But they also learn colors and numbers and shapes and how to spell and things like that. So we take cheer, but we also teach them like cognitive skills and things like that they need to know. So it's perfect.
Okay. So, before we get started with this conversation, I usually ask an icebreaker.
Okay.
So, I feel like music is pretty much dictates our life a little bit as far as like, there's a soundtrack to everything we've always been through. So, what do you feel like is, if you had to put together a playlist of the three songs or so, songs that really make up who you are?
Oh. Okay, so let's see. So it just depends on what mood I'm in. So I normally listen to gospel, right? Yeah. But I also love R&B. Okay. But lately I have been listening to Vito.
Okay.
I don't even know the name of the song. It's like Boss Up or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, okay. You need to listen to it. Y'all need to listen to it. Plug for Vito. That song is real empowering, and it talks about, women kind of just focusing on yourself and, just forgetting about all the adversity and things you've been through and just kind of like forget everybody else, like boss up type of thing. So that's kind of, that would describe me. Another song would probably be...
and these don't have to be current songs either. It could be whatever song.
So another song would be Make Room, which is by Jonathan McReynolds. It's a gospel song. That song...
I thought you were talking about John Legend. The same room? The same room. I know something like that. Okay, continue on.
No, okay, so that song is Make Room is a really, really dope worship song. But the reason why I would say that it kind of describes me is because worship is my go-to. And it's also, my day is really, really busy. I never have any free time. So having a space to make room for God, which comes first, is definitely me. So those two I definitely listen to like every day. And then another song that would describe me is probably I don't know. I'm trying to choose between some John Legend songs and her, because there are some like love songs that's really would describe my passion for business and people. Right. So just probably those three.
Okay. All right, cool. So what is the origin story for Jenae Gardner as far as your business? So how did you get started? I feel like I have an idea, but we haven't talked in a minute. So
yes. Okay, so they may not know, I've cheered my entire life. I started out with rec. So everybody does rec cheer. A lot of people do rec cheer because their brothers play football or things like that. But I started out with rec. I've cheered for like Churchland. And then I cheered all the way up to Nasman River High School. And then
I wear patent leather J's every Friday.
Listen. I used to get in so much trouble because we were supposed to have cheer shoes on. And
you definitely did.
Definitely had Jordans on every Friday with our warm-up. But... then I went overseas and I cheered for 3 years for a pro team. And so that is kind of like my background as far as cheer and dance and with tumbling. I've danced, of course, my whole life. I did all types of dance, jazz, tap, ballet, lyrical. I've instructed.
What's lyrical dance?
Lyrical is similar to praise dance. It's the best I can describe it, but it's a difference. So lyrical has more techniques. So it's, to me, the best way to. Yeah, it's like kind of a mixture of ballet and praise dance. That's the easiest way for me to get you to understand what I'm saying. But I've done that, and then I've taught things like when I was younger, like praise dance and stuff like that, mommy. So that's kind of my experience. Okay. But the way I got started was when I came back to the States, I realized that there was no program for our girls that gave them the experiences that I experienced. Okay. Why do we have to wait till you get grown or become an adult to experience certain things? Right. Because the earlier the better. So I was like, I'm a creator. So I'm like, oh, I should create an environment where I can not just make a difference, but I can use cheer dance and tumbling to mentor the girls. Mm-hmm. And so that's my program. The program is not just athletics. It's really a mentoring program. Yeah. So we mentor the girls through cheer dance and tumbling. Okay. So that's kind of how I got started. I dealt with some medical situations and I couldn't really work for someone. Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm creative. Like, I'm going to create a job if I can't be at a job. Okay. So that's when I started, other businesses. And then I kind of got to focusing more on cheer. And I love it. I'm really passionate about it. But most importantly, it's so many different things that come out of cheer. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people focus on things like, it's just a program to put my child into. Right. But
it's a little bit more than that, though.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that. So.
Okay. So what year did you actually get started with the company?
So I initially started the company about 3 years ago. It's kind of been revamped. Yeah. But I initially started the actual company 3 years ago. Prior to starting the company, I was a cheer commissioner for a recreational team.
Cheer commissioner?
Yes.
The commish.
The commish.
Okay.
I was a cheer commissioner for the recreational team, and my job was to oversee the teams and build a cheer program. And so once I did that, I eventually ventured out and started my own program.
Okay. So that first year, I feel like everybody learns so much in the first year of business. What are some of the things that you learned in that first 12 months of?
One of the things that I learned, and I tell people this all the time, is that it's okay if there are 1,000 other cheer companies. Okay. I think that a lot of people I think people get intimidated.
Really?
Yeah, I think people get intimidated when they say, here's another cheer company down the street, or this school is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. I believe that the creator created you to be creative, so create. So my mind's what I learned. The creator
created you to be creative.
So create. That's my little.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Little plugs, my little quotes. It's gonna be on the T-shirt. So
I can see that. Yeah.
So one of the things that I learned was to use what you got. Okay. And what you have is enough. And there are so many different things that you have that you can offer that no one else offers. True. So be good at what you offer. So this company may offer 5 different things, and you may only offer one, but that one thing
you gotta be great at.
Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things I learned. Another thing that I learned was to maximize and seize every moment.
Okay, speak on that.
So a lot of times people may use athletic programs or extracurricular activity programs for various reasons. Some people use it because their child is skilled and they want them to be better. Yeah. Some people use it as a daycare. Mm-hmm. Some people use it as they're living through their child. I always wanted to be a cheerleader. I never made the team. So my baby, she is going to cheer type of thing. So our goal at Glitter Bows, of course, we're known as the Impact Squad. So you're going to hear me say impact a lot. Our goal is to make an impact. Yeah. And so that's why that's our name. Yeah. So we don't just make an impact on the athletes, but we make an impact on the families. So whatever your reason for being a part of our team was, we're going to seize that moment. So if it was for you to be you always want to be a cheerleader, you never made it, we have something for the parents. We have an adult squad, or whether it was, this is a daycare, my child is just
all over the place. How does that make you feel when people are like, yeah, I'm going to just drop my kid off?
I look at it like I have an opportunity to give them to fill that void. Okay. So again, it's a mentoring program, right? Yeah. So I'm just dropping my kid off, like whatever type of thing. It's okay, because when you're dropping your kid off, for that hour, that 2 hour, I'm going to give them all the love and attention that they're lacking. And so now when they leave, not only did they leave with a skill, they're actually learning real cheer skills, but they're leaving with love. They're leaving with attention. They've gotten attention. They're leaving with, we have circle moments where we talk about boys and social media and just adapting to virtual learning, all these things. So it's a well-rounded program. And I feel like sometimes our girls are able to encourage their parents when they get in the car because they just been impacted when they came into our facility.
Okay. How long did it take you to kind of come up with like all those different elements of it? Because that sounds like that's something that's completely different than what a lot of people are doing, especially in that space.
I think that it didn't take me a while to come up with that because I'm passionate about that. I always want to help everybody.
Right.
So I feel like this is a moment. A lot of people think that our youth, later on when they grow up, they'll be this, they'll be that. I believe we should invest in them now. I talk to our girls about starting businesses. I believe everybody should be a business owner, should be entrepreneurs. So I think that if we give them something now, then it will allow them to grow and to be successful. And so it didn't take me a long time to come up with those things because it's kind of like what I'm passionate about. So it's like I'll be asleep and I'll wake up in the middle of the night after praying and stuff, and I'll have like my notebook and like that's real. I really literally write down everything. Like, oh, this is an idea. I could be talking on the phone and I'll just be like, oh shoot, this would be dope. And I'll write that down or type that in my phone or something like that. So I'm always creating. I'm always thinking.
Okay. So, what was I about to ask you? So, all right. So when you started your business, when did you feel like you were starting to make a name for yourself? Or actually, matter of fact, I'm going to go to that question next. But first question is, how did you get your first couple of kids or,
So because I was a cheer commissioner for that league, a lot of people knew me.
Right.
And I built a rapport with the parents because, again, it wasn't just like a program for me. I really care. And so my biggest thing was, no shade to anybody that has their child in rec, but www.impactnation.com. It's our website. Little plug. But no shade to that. But I believe that if you do anything, it should be a purpose to it, right? So a lot of rec programs is just for fun. And we want you to have fun. But you need to learn a real skill.
True.
So my program, we teach all styles of cheerleading. So they learned that stump and shake North Carolina style. They also learned that collegiate motions tightness style. So wherever they want to go, whatever they want to be, they have the skills for that, right? So that was something that came out, I think, to a lot of the parents that I met. They were like, oh, she means business. And I'm like, we're not going to be on the sideline just picking grass.
Well, I'm picking grass, though.
Because I've seen cheerleaders do that. And I had a few that was on that. Are y'all playing with grass? Are you supposed to be in cheerleader position? I'm confused. So a lot of parents appreciated that. And a lot of my parents, when I started, a lot of them, they wanted to come with me or, be a part of my program. I think that's how I got a good part of my client base. And then a lot of people that I knew my experience. So they were like, oh, I want my child to be, to experience that type of thing.
Right.
So I think that's how my client base started.
Okay.
And then as people started to really understand what we were offering, I think that's how I built more clientele because it's like, okay, what other program does this?
Yeah. Okay. So when did you start to feel for yourself like you're really, making an impact out here?
For me, I still feel like I have so much more to do. I feel like I don't even feel like I have gotten to that point.
But you're making an impact. Like I've seen I feel like I hit you. I'm like, yo, you really doing something out here. Like,
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, so when you say making an impact, I feel like we have this sector called Impact the Community, right? Where we do all this community service. And I'm kind of teaching the girls that, how to be involved and to see that there are children who are less fortunate, right? So, but because there's so many, and as a creator, you might understand this, it's so many levels and so many ideas and so many things that you really want to do.
So you feel like yourself, you're not really you're not at that point yet because your bar for yourself is so high.
Right. I feel like I haven't hit the surface.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful and I feel blessed that I've been able to impact our direct athletes and then our communities. Now we're, we started out in Portsmouth. Now we're considered Chesapeake.
That's Portsmouth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We still Portsmouth, y'all. But, it's on the other side. We're considered Chesapeake. So I feel like there's so many children who don't even know that we're there, that I want to be a part of, or help. But I mean, I don't know. I know it's hard to answer that question because I don't feel like I'm really there yet.
Okay.
I do know that I have seen growth.
Yeah.
We have our own location, we have lots of athletes, and we've been able to, people that we've coached, they cheered for college or they made high school teams, and like people who had no cheer experience came through our program and like they're cheering for some of the top schools. So that makes me feel good, as a coach. But as far as the business, I just feel like I have so many more things to accomplish. So I don't know if I feel like I made it.
Okay. So where do you kind of see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, or what's the ultimate goal for the company?
Oh, in 5 to 10 years, or even next year.
Yeah.
I see. I feel like we're going to grow out of our current location.
Okay.
I would like to turn that location into our younger gym.
Okay.
So I want that entire location just to be for like ballet and tap and cheer and tumbling for just the younger girls.
Yeah.
Because that location, it was big for them.
Yeah.
I just see a huge state-of-the-art gym. And the gym will still provide, cheer, dance, all types of dance, tumbling. I also see us doing more things with the high schools. So right now we do have high school athletes that come in for tumbling and things like that. But we're also working on special needs programs. We're working on more things for the community. We're working on scholarship programs. Because think about this. Some people get cheer scholarships. Some people don't. But
I didn't really think cheer scholarship was a thing.
Yeah, so they do have cheer scholarships, but it's not that much money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Unless it's a certain school.
Yeah.
But what about those children who are parents are not completely broke, right?
Yeah.
Most of the money or most opportunities are for children who parents don't have anything.
Right.
Or parents have a lot of money, so they know what avenues to take to get you the money you need.
Right.
But that middle class, that everyday class, middle class, they don't never get any help. And it's to join like a high school team, sometimes it's like $500 for the packet you need. And that's like your uniform, your warm-ups, so those type of things.
Oh, I thought it was free.
What?
For high school?
No. So you don't have to pay to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
You make the team. But you have to pay for warm-ups and shoes and cheer bags and all of that type of stuff.
I thought you just get it to you.
No. You have to pay for that. So
that sucks.
It depends on what school you go to, and it depends on the cost. I mean, as far as your uniform, they're giving that to you. You're not paying because it's not yours, right? But a lot of times it's a lot of money. So that middle class, some of them don't have, their child can have the skill, but they don't have the money to just drop for their child to participate. Yeah. So our scholarship programs will assist with stuff like that. And it will also assist with girls who start out in our program. Like, why does your first job have to be McDonald's? No shade against McDonald's, but I'm just saying, your first job.
That was rather shady.
Right, I'm just saying. I mean, it could be Chick-fil-A, but I'm just saying. But your first job could be in something that you're interested in and that you're passionate about. So that's another program. So I see ourselves in 5 and 10 years really, really growing, really, really offering opportunities to the community like no other, and being a platform and being a place where we can kind of cultivate people's skills and gifts and not just teach them a skill, but help them to be great citizens. So
Okay. So let's switch it up a little bit. I believe in the phrase, you got to spend money to make money. What has been one of the things that you spent money on that led to the biggest return?
Recently investing in our own facility.
Really?
Yes, because initially we were renting out a gym Thank God for them, because that was a space that we were able to call our safe haven. Once we moved into our own facility, it opened up so many different avenues.
How so?
Because one thing is, when you're renting a facility, when you're renting time slot, that's all you have is a time slot. So you have to do everything around that time slot.
Yeah.
So when we had big performances, we needed more hours to practice. Now,
more money.
Right. But the good thing in that was that our girls they have adapted to learning things like this.
Yeah.
So we go to a competition, we go to an event, and something happens and we're not inside anymore, we're outside, or a smaller venue, then they told us they can adapt, because that's how we taught them. They can change things immediately.
Right.
And that goes all the way to our little girls.
Okay.
But I will say, definitely investing in our own facility has opened up the doors, because it allows us to produce more revenue. It allows us to be able to service more clients. It allows us to be able to offer, programs that we weren't able to do with just having 1 day a week for 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. So allow you to be able to maximize a little bit more on the things.
Yes, for sure. Moving into our own facility was a great investment, for sure.
Okay. Would you recommend that for somebody just starting out, or?
No.
Okay.
So I recommend, when you first start out in business, first of all, you need to know where your goals are.
Yeah.
Some people may not have a goal to build. I want to service not all of Hampton Roads.
Yeah.
Some people may just feel like, I just want my team of 12 people. That's all I want. You don't need a facility, for that. But if your goal is to grow, then you can't grow if you don't have any space. We were practicing in a large gym, but our girls were split up in different areas.
Yeah.
Now they have different classrooms.
Okay.
And then we have more days they can come at different times.
Yeah.
And then with COVID, there's no way we could fit everyone in a certain area and still be 6 feet apart and still, implement the CDC regulations and rules and stuff. So I think that if somebody's starting off, I think that they should definitely start off small, and that's okay. Don't despise humble beginnings. It's okay to start off small and grow.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I want you to give advice to yourself 3 years ago.
Oh.
So what advice would you give Jenae in 2017 when you were first coming up with this idea of wanting to, build this company?
That it's okay. It's okay to want to help everyone, but not help everyone.
Explain.
So I'm so passionate, and I want everybody to be a part of this program if that's their desire.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't know how to separate business from the passion.
Okay.
So you need passion in business, but there is a thin line, because business is business. You can't call your electric company and have passion to get that bill paid.
Yeah, you need money.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's okay, because you're offering a service. And if you're offering this service that you're passionate about, that's like none other, then it's okay to be confident in your prices. It's okay to be confident in not being able to service everyone who may not be able to afford your prices at this moment. There are rec teams that they can start out at, you know? But I am so passionate, and I just want to help everybody, that I would definitely, I've paid for people to participate because we have insurance on the girls and things like that. So it's not like the money is just going in my pocket. We have to pay even before we had our facility.
Right.
And so I've always done everything business-wise correctly. And so when it came to the athletes, I didn't want to turn anyone away. And, we have late fees for a reason, but I would, try to work with so many people, and I still work with people. But business is business, and to be able to grow and to be able to actually have money to help people, you have to separate business and passion when it comes to that.
Okay. So you said business is business, which I thoroughly get. What business lessons have you learned throughout the last 3 years that really stand out to you?
Investing in yourself.
All right, what you mean by that?
So one of the things that I'm big on is learning more. I feel like as a business owner, you should be knowledgeable in every sector of your business. So you may not be the best in that. And that's why companies hire someone to come in and, be in charge of their marketing, because their marketing, that's not their strength. But you should be knowledgeable.
Right.
Even my staff, I'm always saying, okay, we're going to be working on taking these classes. Like, we can be the best at everything. How can I teach someone to be greater if I'm not trying to be great myself?
Yeah.
And so investing in yourself, investing in classes, reading. I'm that person that I listen to YouTube videos, or, I'm always watching live videos and things like that, just trying to get more knowledgeable about someone who's already where I'm trying to go.
Gotcha.
But investing, it takes money to make money, and that's really real.
Yeah.
When I started, and even now, people always say it takes money to make money. So how do you get started if you have no money? Right? That's the question.
Yeah.
For someone who wants to start a business, how do you get started if you have no money? You can still get started. I did. But you have to start small. It's baby steps. When you make money, you don't take all that money and
put
shop.
It in your pocket. Yeah.
Right.
You got to reinvest.
You have to reinvest. You have to. Even if you are making thousands and thousands of dollars, then your investments when it comes into your marketing or your ads, so whatever you're doing to get more clientele, should go up.
Yeah.
So investing is something that, for me, is definitely to invest in myself.
Okay. What are your thoughts on another version of investing in yourself, like just taking care of your body a little bit more? I know that's something that a lot of people don't do.
Listen.
Like, my back was jacked up for like 2 months.
Let me say this, and this is not a strength of mine at all. My strength is to create and to help and to produce.
Yeah.
Right? That's my strength. And because sometimes our strength can be a weakness, and that's my weakness. So I have this business, right? And then I have other business ventures that I'm currently working on that are not out yet. Then I'm a single mom. And I'm also a part of the board at my church. So I have like all these things going on.
You got a lot going on. Got a lot of plates.
With no free time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find myself like, oh shoot, I was supposed to go get my nails. Like, how did I miss my nail appointment? Like, I can't be in front of people doing this and my hair for like this. Right. So, and then I'll be at the nail shop and I'll be working. But I'm gonna tell you why I do that. And it's not good.
Don't sound like it's good.
It's not.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. So I have medical things that I deal with, right? And sometimes I can't walk.
Yeah.
So because I don't know how I'm gonna feel day to day, when I'm feeling okay, I like to maximize those moments.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself is very important, because if I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be here to maximize those moments.
Right.
So what I want to say to myself and other business owners is like, that is so important, and it's okay to take a day off or to take time off so that you can be rejuvenated, so that you can, spend time with your family or whatever it is. So one of the things that I've been doing is my studio is closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
So I have committed to not doing any work for the studio on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
Which is big.
Yeah, but
it is. So now I'm working on taking those Sundays and Mondays, and so those Sundays and Mondays are kind of like my days off. So that means that's my day off for the studio. So I'm working on other stuff. So now I'm trying to work on things in hours. I'm like really organized, and I try to prioritize so that I can kind of have that time. Cause
how's that working out for you?
I said I'm still working on it.
Yeah, it sounds like a struggle.
It's a big struggle. I think that's my weakness. It's finding time to just set aside, to just chill.
Okay.
Because when I'm chilling, I don't feel productive.
Yeah, you feel like you should be doing something.
Right, because my mind is I'm literally creating all the time.
Right.
And I prayed for that.
Okay.
So it's crazy. So I've always been like creative or come up with ideas.
Yeah.
I'm always like that person. But I prayed that I would create things like no other. Like I prayed that God would give me wisdom to listen and to hear things and see things and find a way to maximize or to help or to increase. So because I prayed for that, it comes all the time, literally. Like I'll walk into a building, I'm like, oh, that would be dope. And I'm talking to an owner, like, have you guys thought about this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's a good idea. That's just...
But how do you turn your mind off? Because I'm like that too. Like there's some moments where I can't even sleep because my mind is running. At like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, yo, I got to cut this off.
When I take a moment from creating, it's normally with my son.
Okay.
Because I'm a mother first, right?
Yeah.
So it's normally with him, but it's it don't really cut off because he'll be talking about the game, and I'm like, okay, let's create one. Like I told him, all your friends are playing this game. What makes Fortnite so dope? Or what makes Call of Duty? Like, why do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's create this. And he's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, all right. So you're going to create a game, and then we're going to get other young boys into this is entrepreneurship. Like, let's create some games. So that's kind of something we're working on too. But I don't know. I can't answer that because I need to know. I was going to ask you, like, what we need to do.
I definitely don't have the answer to that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel unproductive.
I definitely feel unproductive. So I've recently, since I've been in this space, like we was talking before, like there are moments when like I work in here from like 8 o'clock until 8 at night. But even that time when I go home from 8 to like 12, I look like a crackhead because I'm just like, yo, what should I be doing? Let me do this. And then I was like, oh, I just need to just relax. Because I'm so used to working from 8 in the morning to like 1, maybe 2 o'clock at night. But now it's like I have time set aside where I'm just chill my wife, do things around the house or whatever the case may be. But now I just like, I don't know what I'm doing myself.
It makes you feel and it's like I've been trying to tell myself that it's okay. I literally have this written in my planner. It's okay to take a break. Yeah. It's okay. And sometimes that break may be you helping somebody else or you giving your creative ideas to another creator, like trying to, help them. But I don't know. I really don't know how to do that yet. I don't know. I don't know how to. I can't imagine. Imagine as your business grow, right?
You're gonna be even more busy,
right? I don't know how to take away I think my main fear has always been I don't know when I'm not going to feel well, or I don't know when I'm going to have flare-ups and things like that. So it's like, girl, while you got this time, get it. I mean, I'll be in my bed like the other day when I couldn't walk. I literally was in my bed working because I'm like, I'm still alive. Like I try to make every moment a positive moment. Yeah. So even though I'm in pain, okay, let me just write this down or let me create this flyer. Because there was a time throughout the day when I was walking where I didn't have time to sit still and create a flyer. Yeah. So I look at it like,
still maximizing all your time.
Yes. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can help us with that.
Yeah, I definitely need the answer. Okay, so what has been a negative moment that you had, like business wise, and what have you learned from it? And when I say that, I mean as far as like, what was the situation that happened that in the moment you felt like this is the worst thing ever, but then on the back end you're like, you know what? I could have did this better. I could have been better at this. I could have, did this.
So believe it or not, I want everybody to be happy. And I know that's not realistic. Right. Like I know it, but I still want it to happen. Yeah. And so a moment would be having a customer, talk to me and just, I like this company is the best. And then on social media,
they're blasting.
Yeah, but not really me. It's more indirectly. Yeah. And so my first priority is to make sure that we are producing great classes, for our customers. Like we're making sure that what we're giving, it's worthy of what we're asking for people to pay, or just a program in general. Like we're not putting out no trash, right? So when I would read certain things, it made me feel like, do people know how much work it comes? Like we don't just wake up and then just come and like twiddle our fingers. Like this is planning, this is skills. Like we're researching, we're always on top of things. And when it comes to, you have parents who feel like, oh, my child is the best. They should be captain, or they should be, and I have everyone's best interest at heart, and I want people to reach their personal best. And I think parents don't understand that your child's personal best is not somebody else's child's personal best. And so my goal is to make sure that everybody has the skill and everybody looks good, and that they're growing mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's part of our, part of our list of things that we try to ensure. But everybody is not going to be in the front. But I teach our girls that if you're in the back of the line or in the back row, you should look like you should be in the front. Okay. Because the back is the last person people see in a parade. Yeah. So you might not be leading the line, but you are the caboose. And they're going to remember the caboose because you're the last person they see. Okay. But parents feel like, my child should be. So that negative situation where parents, have their own thought process of how things should be, it made me question, like, wait, I mean, did I not give what I thought we were giving? Did we not produce this?
Right.
And then on the back end, when they try to join the team again, I realized that they had some personal issues that they may have been dealing with.
Yeah.
That they so how I handled it, how I could have handled it better was...
What would you learn from it?
Well, I learned that it's okay to be sure about what you're offering. Like a lot of times we second guess ourselves, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to look at yourself and say, okay, am I really doing what I say I'm doing? Because you want to be good at it, right?
Right.
Like I tell the kids all the time, your parents spend their hard-earned money. I don't care if it's $5 or $500. They work for it. So we're going to give something good. We're going to produce a good service. But at the same time, I also learned that, you can't please everybody.
True.
And every customer is not going to be the customer for Glitter Bows. And I'm okay with that now. In the beginning, I wanted everybody to be a part of Glitter Bows. Now I understand that those other thousands of cheer companies is in Hampton Roads, that might be for you.
Yeah.
We might not be, because our rules are our rules. And it's okay to stick by our rules. This is what we're, offering. And if it's not what you like, you have this place, this place, this place, this place.
There's
Thank
more
you.
than enough other
Thank you for
companies
coming.
out there.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap this up, question for you. I believe that there is a blueprint to pretty much be successful in any industry, right? So there's usually like two to five things that, if you do this in any industry, you'll be successful. Like I feel like in my industry, if you are creating your workflows, if you're, always shooting, always creating, then, and you work hard, you're going to be successful. So in your industry, what are the couple of things that you feel like if somebody's opened up a cheer gym, if you do these three things, you'll be successful?
One of the most important things I feel like is...
And try to make it tangible. People will be saying like some generic stuff.
No, this is real. I'm talking about people. Because it's like when I was reading about why you're doing this, right? I thought it was so dope. First of all, let me just say that. Because when I first was starting out, I was that same person looking at videos and trying to, okay, how do you do this? People always give you the tools, but okay, how you do this with no money? You're saying market. That's how you get customers. I don't have no money to market. What do I do? Right. What are avenues? What are free ways to do this? Because you can start right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so one of the things I think is important is to know, like you have to know what you're doing as far as, if I want to open a cheer gym, I need to know about cheer. I need to look at, and I still do this. You have huge companies like Fame that have been around for years, right? What does Fame offer? Why are they successful? Why are they still around? They charge way more than any other company. How are they still around? Through pandemics, what are they doing? I mean, let's talk about outside of grant money. Let's just say, what are people doing? So one of the things is research. You have to research. You have to know your craft. You have to know what works as far as for other companies. It's okay to mirror yourself to another company. That's important. Another thing that I would say that's important is to be cutting edge. You have to be different. You know what works for this company.
Okay.
Right? So, okay, I know that this company, they have been in business for 18 years. And one thing that works for them is that they're consistent. They offer a good product and it works. Or they offer a good service.
When you're consistent.
Right. So that's one thing. But what can I offer that's different that no one else is offering? Okay.
Let me interject real quick.
Okay.
Do you believe that pretty much with any business, you should kind of mimic yourself after whoever the big dog is, but then just so you can get the basics down? Like, you know what, I need to make sure that, our uniforms look this part. I need to make sure that we are up to par when it comes to what I'm teaching the kids or what have you. But then once you get the basics down pat, then you can be like, all right, if they're doing this, then I need to kind of find what makes us different, our niche. You believe that?
I do. I'm going to tell you why. I believe that because if something is broke, why are you trying to fix it?
Right.
If something is working, if someone Chick-fil-A has been around for years, right? Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
Why are they still so...
Still making money.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? They're closed on Sundays. Everybody else is open on Sundays.
Yeah.
And they still, their revenue that they produce is higher than people that are open on Sundays. Why?
Right.
So it's like, okay, if I want to have a gym, a full service gym that offers cheer, dance, and tumbling, there are a lot of gyms that offer, they're tumbling gyms and they offer cheer, like competitive cheer.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of teams that are performance teams, which is what we are.
Yeah.
We're a performance team. You have nobody has a program for those girls who are not ready to compete,
right?
But they want to perform. So we offer performance cheer for girls who want to perform, who are not. Everybody is not competitive.
Yeah.
They're not a competitive all-star cheerleader. So we have that for them. That's something that a lot of gyms don't have. Okay. Another thing that we offer is for 2-year-olds. A lot of gyms were not allowing. I did research before we started offering 2-year-olds. I couldn't find one gym in our 757 that was offering programs for 2-year-olds.
Okay.
Now people are starting to do it.
Yeah.
But when I first started offering it, I didn't see one gym doing it. And the reason why I started doing it was because I felt like all my athletes had younger sisters. And they knew all the routines because they were always there. They're sponges.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, let me create a program and for them and let me include things that they need. Because I'm always trying to think about making sure that it's a good service.
Right.
So they're just not learning real cheer skills, but they're actually learning, the other things that they need to know.
Okay.
So when they start, school, they'll have those
already
things.
have that. Well, okay. You just said something that kind of triggered another thought. I feel like when you're cutting edge, where you're doing things, outside the box, and you're rocking with that for a little minute, but then you see other people start to adopt those same things. What do you do after that?
It's so crazy you asked that. I don't. So now
because then you don't become the norm. You're pretty much. Even though you might have started, but everybody else is doing it.
Right. And then what happens if you start something and somebody else is doing it and they're more successful, per se, in that sector? Yeah. That's why you're always supposed to be creating.
Yeah.
So you don't put everything out in one time. You create. And when you create, you have these ideas. And you put things out little by little, right? You maximize that one thing, and then you put out something else. Right. You have to always be creating. So even though someone else may start doing something that you're already doing, it's okay because you're going to put out something else. Yeah. And so, or
all they're going to be doing is copying what you're doing anyway.
Right. Or just like you mimic the larger company, right? Yeah. That's what we're all doing. But what in your program, right, are you offering that they're not offering still? So we're both, we both have a 2-year-old program, right? What do my 2-year-olds do that your 2-year-olds don't do? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have a whole list of things that our 2-year-olds are doing or going to be doing that the different programs who have now, started allowing or accepting 2-year-olds that they're not even doing yet.
Right.
So it's like always trying to stay ahead of the game, always trying to create. And I feel like the best way to create for those people who aren't creative, because there are a lot of people who aren't creative. Yeah. The best way to create is to think about what you would want if you were that person. So for an example, all of the things I've ever created are ways that will make my life easier, right? Or if I was that parent, what would I want? Like, what would I want if I'm that single mom who's working 2 and 3 jobs or who doesn't have time? This is really a daycare. Oh, my daughter is cute. I want her to be in it, but it's really a daycare. I don't have time to sit with her and do homework because by the time I pick her up, we're tired and all this stuff. So, okay, boom. Now we have a tutoring program. Okay. So we have a tutoring program. This was before the pandemic, right? Yeah. Now it's even more, prominent. Yeah. But we have a tutoring program that we can help those parents. So now we are really a one-stop shop. Right. And what about those parents who can't help their child with their homework? Not because they don't have time, but because they don't know the stuff. Because they don't know how, they didn't finish, they didn't get there.
They don't know nothing about fractions.
Right. What?
Yeah.
So now we have a program that we don't just tutor the kids, but we tutor the parents as well. So we're always offering something that can help. And the way to create, if you're not creative, is to just think about what you need or just think about something that's not going good and how you could make that better. And that's how you can start getting your creative juices to flow.
Okay. I feel like you need to do a whole course on that just by itself.
So this is so crazy. And
How to be creative.
Yeah, this is so crazy. One of the things that I want to do, like I told you, I prayed about being more creative and things like that. Is that I am good at cultivating gifts. I'm good at listening to someone and saying, "Oh, you could do this, and you can do this, and you can turn it this way." And I'm like, "Oh, I should create a business with that." But those are one of the things I want to do. So I'm thinking about doing some type of event. You might want to like take this out because I'm thinking about doing an event because like it don't have anything to do with what we're talking about. Yeah. But I'm thinking about doing an event where it's just like straight creatives and business owners, right? And giving a platform to anybody who wants to come, and we give them jewels. But the jewels we're giving them is not just to empower them and to be motivating. It's telling them how to actually do it, because you go to these events, they motivate you, and then you don't know where to start. When you were starting out,
what's the day one step? Like, what do I do?
Tell me step by step. Tell me, all right, I'm working a 9 to 5, right? Eventually, I'm gonna quit my job, but while I'm working this 9 to 5, I'm working my business part time. That's how a lot of us started, right? So I'm working my business part time. So what I would say is, in your budget, take some of that money and start putting it aside for your business. Right. You know, like. Or if you doing photography, you might say take some of that money and start buying
equipment and stuff.
Yeah. So people don't know that.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people don't do it.
Okay, sorry. Back to the question.
All right. So I think that's pretty much it. So where can people find you at?
You can find me. Okay. So I was about to say dancing. I forgot we're living. We can be located. Our facility is 3940 Airline Boulevard, Suite 116 and 117. That's in Chesapeake, right across the border of Portsmouth, P-Town. But our social media is on Facebook is Glitter Bows and Pointed Toes Cheer Company. On Instagram is I Impact Nation, so that's 2 I's, I Impact Nation on Instagram, and our website is www.iimpact2isnation.com.
All right.
You want to know why it's 2 I's?
Yeah.
Because I impact.
I kind of figured that. I thought it was a little bit deeper than that.
So that was corny? That was good?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was all right.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I definitely appreciate you sitting down. It's good to see you.
You too. We got to do this more often. We might just have to have moments just to create.
Yeah, we definitely
Because I'm always...
And I be needing ideas. I be running out sometimes.
What? I got a whole list. Okay.
I bet you do. All right, so once again, I just thank Jenae for coming out here. It was a great conversation, just a great time in general. So if you like this conversation, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider following both of us, as well as please consider sharing this with somebody you feel like needs to hear this type of conversation. So once again, I'm Shad Harris, and you guys stay safe, stay running free, but keep creating, keep shooting, and you guys have a good one.
Bye.